This is the teaching to Go Light Your World. Part 1 is verse 1 and the chorus. So I'm going to take you through that. We open wide, and you can see the formation of the stage as we begin. Downstage center. Regina's playing this part down here, downstage center, and then the rest of the group is staggered. For most of the songs on this particular DVD, I've used 8 people total. So this separates 1 down and 7 up, and since the 7 are up, they're staggered. So the way this starts off is we're going to start over here with Chike. Before we do that, let me just borrow your candle for a second, Mary. We have these candles. Come on in on this, Darren, a little bit. These candles are available through Salt and Light Ministries. You can order them. We'll make them available to you here. We'll get mass quantities at discount prices and then be able to hopefully pass on some of the savings to you. But basically, they light up by pushing on a little pin here, metal on metal, and by pushing that on, they light up. They're powered by, I believe, 2 AA batteries, but they have a little rubber tip there with like a light. It's very, very easy to work. We found them very handy. They're fairly sturdy. They're not cheaply made, so we like those. They're good. All right? You can get those through us. Give Mary back her candle. And this piece starts off stage right, which is your left, with Chike turning around as the beginning of the song begins. There is a candle, 2 and 3 in every 5 and 6 and 7. Okay, that's the opening. Center stage right behind Regina. Michelle didn't turn yet because she's going to be in the next scene. Okay, some brightly burning. They bring their candles forward. Some dark, and they bring it back, and then their left hands come over and cover the candle. And I have encouraged them to cup their hands here and not let their palms be open in front of the candle because it makes a nicer picture of the darkness. So dark and cold. And then Michelle turns on. There is a spirit, and she has this little Bic lighter here, okay? It can be anything you want it to be. The rest of you relax for a second, just in place. This is kind of tricky. We want to talk about this for a second. In her hand here, she has what we call flash paper. These are small sheets of flash paper. They use them a lot in magic tricks and those kinds of things, object lessons. They're very small, but what they're going to do is they're going to flame and disintegrate. What you don't want to have happen, and be very careful here, obviously, anytime you're working with fire in a building. These aren't dangerous. They shouldn't burn anybody at all. But you're going to light it and just toss it up. Toss it up in order to disintegrate in the air. It just completely disintegrates, okay? So Michelle will take this. There is a spirit. She turns around that brings a fire. She lights it and just throws it and just disappears. There shouldn't be any kind of, just throw it out and up. Just a little touch out and up. You definitely don't want to throw it down on the head of the person in front of you, okay? That would be bad, bad, bad. Throw it up in the air and let it just disintegrate in the air. It'll go out very quickly, but it's a nice effect, which you'll see on the performance, or which you've already seen on the performance. Ignites a candle and makes her home. When that light goes up, when that fire goes out, at that point, and the person downstage, Regina in this case, can see that light. Obviously, it'll light up the sky if you're in darkness, and this piece does start in complete darkness. At that point, Regina lights her candle and brings it up kind of on her face, just right underneath her face there. Ignites a candle and makes his home. So, hold there. Basically what happens is the light comes on when the fire burns. All right? That's the opening verse. Here's the chorus. Regina gets up, makes her home. So carry your candle, she is moving stage right to the edge of this line between the 2 rows. Now she has to move fairly quickly over there. There's not a lot of time. So carry your candle. And then run into the darkness. She goes from that spot to center stage. Brings her candle down here, right behind center stage Michelle. This is also a nice effect in darkness. Now, this next move is repeated throughout the song. So we're going to show it to you. It starts down stage right. Carry your candle, seek out the hopeless, confused, and torn, and up. Okay, that's important. Let's try that one more time. Watch Regina up there. Carry your candle, run into the darkness. Seek out the hopeless, boom, confused and torn, and hold to the chest. Okay, back to the chest there. It always comes back to the chest. Oops, sorry about that. It always comes back to the chest. And then she'll turn, bring her candle up, and finish this out. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Brings her all the way back down stage center. She moves her hand out to the right. Take, now the candles are going to go on one at a time on my beats. Take your candle, go light your world. 6, 7. Okay, 8 would be her, but she's already on. Take your to the front, go light your lights off. Okay? The important thing here, because, let me see yours for Regina. The important thing is here is when you turn the light on, try not to move it unless you're looking for the effect of moving lights, which we do later in a bridge. Otherwise, keep it still, make sure it's off, then you can move it. Otherwise, in the darkness, you'll see that glare. You'll see that glare going in movement. All right, that's the verse 1 and the chorus to Go Light Your World.